Hello there, it's Ruth Sherman. I'm a CEO and celebrity speech and media coach, but you don't have to be famous to work with me. In fact, I want to make you famous. I hope you had a good break. Happy holidays, happy new year. I hope 2015 is the greatest year yet for you. Now, during the holidays, there was some sad news, and that was that Mario Cuomo, the former governor of New York, died. And one of the reasons that people like me will miss Cuomo is that he was a fabulous speaker, especially in the political realm, but really in general. And what I wanted to do is to start off the new year, start off 2015 with talking about what made Cuomo so good as a speaker. So I'm going to refer to my notes, but, and by the way, I also included a link to part one of his 1992 nominating speech where he nominated Bill Clinton at the Democratic National Convention. So watch part one, and then when you get to part one, it's on YouTube, you'll see that parts 2, 3, and 4 will show up on the right menu. Make sure you watch those too. It's not a very long speech. Each segment's about 5 minutes each, so in total, about 20 minutes. I guarantee you, you will love what you see and you will learn so much. All right, so I'm going to refer to my notes. Let's start talking about what made Cuomo so incredibly eloquent and moving as a speaker and inspirational. Well, the first thing was he was a master of storytelling. He was able to create stories around pretty boring things, pretty dry topics. I mean, public policy, to me, it makes my eyes glaze over. And the way most politicians and other people who are interested in policy talk about it makes it quite difficult to understand and follow and stick with. But it's really important, of course, that all of us voters understand policy. Cuomo was a master at making the policy come alive through stories, and he particularly was good at using metaphors, visual metaphors that you could envision yourself in the story, in the situation with him and with everyone else. So it really made the material come alive, and it made you think, which is terrific. The second thing that he was terrific about is that he read the room. In other words, he was very sensitive to the goings on in a room. And when you're at a big arena, like a big political convention, there's a lot going on. There's talking all the time, but he had people riveted. And of course, people would applaud and they would laugh at certain points. And when they did that, he made sure to pause and give them time to enjoy the moment. A lot of speakers rush through these things. They don't know to stop and just let people enjoy it. The other thing that Cuomo did in terms of reading the room was that if people laughed or started to applaud after he said something funny or inspirational or something that they liked, and he would go on, not realizing they were going to get very excited about it, he stopped, and then he would restart that next paragraph. Very important. He didn't want them to miss anything. And again, something that most speakers don't really pay attention to. So reading the room, super, super important. Now, in terms of technique, he generally stood behind a lectern or a podium, so that's not something that I advocate, but you know, these kinds of events have protocols. But the other thing, too, was that he had a very heavy New York accent. He hailed from Queens, New York. He was proud of it. He never got rid of that accent. In fact, one time when he was kind of contemplating running for president, I do recall hearing him and thinking, he's working on his New York accent. Never did. Decided to undo that, and that's fine. I had often wondered whether he just didn't want to spend the time necessary to work on accent reduction, and that's why he didn't run. In any event, it didn't matter that this technique or these techniques were missing because he was so good at the other stuff. We call this, by the way, the law of compensation. You're really good at certain things, not so good at other things. The other things don't matter if you're really good at storytelling and inspiring and getting people razzed up. He also was able to ride the crest of a wave. He started very quiet. He started slow, and then he built it up until by the end, the people were going crazy. You just felt like, yeah, I want to be with that guy. I want to vote for that person. Really quite interesting to watch. And this can be transferred and translated into business presentations as well. You know, he is also on record as saying he didn't think these skills could be taught. And of course, that's where he's wrong. And I know for a fact that skills can be taught. I've worked with speakers who are, oh gosh, boring, awkward, shy, just terrible on stages. But we work together for a while, and then they work some magic when they step out on that stage. Anyway, I will miss Mario Cuomo, one of the great and eloquent speakers of our age. If you want to learn more about how to become an eloquent speaker and work some of your own magic on stage or on camera, hop on over to ruthsherman.com and download your free gift. And also, please click subscribe.